gonna keep going through this. He's not gonna keep coming in my room. But I gotta tell my mama. I'm trying to talk to her, but she don't back. I'm just not gonna be putting up this. Do nothing again. Just Mom. Mom. Mom.
What?
I gotta talk to you. Talk to me about what? Drew came in my room again.
What?
He came in my room.
Here we go with this T. Well, I mean, okay, you came in your room and then what? Then what?
He touched me.
Touch you how? How the fuck did he touch you now, Chi? Like, I'm really, for real, at this point, you really starting to get on my motherfucking nerves. Like, he is a good man. Here you go with this same bullshit. I thought we had this fucking conversation already. I don't even want to fucking do this shit no more. So what else, what did you want to tell me? Tell me. He touched you, what did you do? What did you do for him to touch you?
I didn't do anything. I was asleep. It was after y'all came back from the club.
You know what? Your dumb ass, every time I look up, you got, so last night when me and him came from the club, he came in your room last night. What did you do? What the fuck did you do?
I was asleep.
Okay, and then he did what? What the fuck did he do? What did he do, Chi?
He touched me.
Touched you where?
Touched me in the wrong places.
I'm sick of this bullshit. For real. This is a good motherfucking man. You running around all day in this motherfucking booty shorts. What the fuck was you doing when he came over here and he came out the room?
Why are you mad at me? It's your boyfriend.
You my motherfucking daughter. You trying to take my motherfucking man. That's a problem.
How am I trying to take your man?
That's a problem. Why you wear them little ass shorts when he here?
You bought him.
Okay, I fucking bought them. For you.
Yeah,
but when my man come up in this motherfucker, you ain't supposed to have no.
So you gonna believe, you gonna have it siding on mine?
It ain't got shit to do with size. This is a good motherfucking man. He paid these
bills. Well, I don't wanna be here, so I'm finna just call the police.
Oh, bitch, call the police. You can get the fuck out of my motherfucking.
Oh God, that's a lot. Oh, there's a lot. All right. I'm Tonya TKO, self-love specialist from TonyaTKO.com. I help you learn how to love yourself and each other. On this channel, we talk about self-loving or self-abusing through relationship, as well as using viral video topics as teachable moments for our own lives in terms of dating and relating. All right, so this right here is a lot. I have been sent this video by several of you all, so thank you so much for sending this video to me. I was able to capture this video, and on the page that I captured this video, it said that this is a reenactment of a real life situation where a girl who is 16 went to her mother and told her mother that the mother's boyfriend was touching her, and the mother talked about the booty shorts, the man being a good man, and all this other stuff. So these people here inside of this, they're advocates for and against, they're advocates against sexual abuse. And so they did this reenactment to bring this to real life so that we can start the dialogue. So much inside here. And so for those of you who are feeling overwhelmed by what's going on in today's society, whether it's these videos, the news stories, if you don't watch the news, if there's stuff that's going on in your own life, I am a certified clinical hypnotherapist, and I've created a free MP3 for you to listen to that you can. It's an amazing MP3 too, with theta brain waves and isocratic tones, binaural beats. It's an amazing, fully packed MP3 that you can listen to relax. It's inside of my shop. You can go there and get it now in exchange for signing up on my mailing list. You'll see the instructions after you download. So go and do that and be able to release and relax and just woosah, all right? Because there's a lot going on out here. And my heart breaks for anybody who had the courage to come out and tell their parent, and their parent rebuffed them. You know, there were so many people. We're coming off of the tail end of the Jasmine Island situation, where we see the guy assaulting her on the dance floor. And so many of us are still asking, well, what did she do to deserve it? Oh, she didn't have on panties. Oh, she had on a short dress. Oh, she liked the attention before, but then after she passed out, oh, well, you know, and so it's like, we need to have these conversations. I don't even know what more to add to this besides, not every adult is in the right frame of mind to be able to help a child. And this goes for people who are dealing with adults in your own lives, or people who you are now adults and you realize that there were some things that were going on in the past. Listen, take care of yourself. At the end of the day, you know how she was like, I'm going to call the police. And the mother was like, BITCH, go ahead. How did you just get out of my... And take care of yourself. There are foster homes. There are group homes. There are situations where you can... And look, all foster homes are not... We hear about the horrible stuff that goes on in the news, but most foster parents are amazing people who just want to provide a loving, safe environment for a child. So you can do the things that you need to do to get the city involved and get you into protective custody, get you into a situation where there are going to be people around you who are going to honor and respect you. And if you go into a situation that's kind of fishy and funky, get them involved again. And we as adults, we're failing our children. Or if you click on my face for my channel, right, you'll see a pinned comment below with the information about the MP3 and other ways that you can support me by buying stuff from my shop or getting t-shirts. I'll put all of the links below. You can also find the links in the description. But what I want you to do is I want you to go to the community tab on my page on YouTube and look at this documentary that I put up about psychopaths. And if you can't find it on my page, just YouTube the words psychopathic sex offenders and take a look at this documentary. It's about an hour long. The first part is in half an hour, so you could even just watch 10 minutes of it to really get a sense for people who abuse children. It's not a mistake. It's not a misunderstanding. This man who was on the dance floor abusing Jasmine Island, it's not something that he's unaware of. If you listen to the lucidness of these offenders, they know exactly what they're doing, and they know exactly how to pit adults against the child so that the child is not believed, that the child is a problem child or has gotten in trouble in school or doesn't have much attention. They groom the child. And I didn't really understand what grooming was until I watched this documentary and actually listened to these psychopaths talking about the type of children that they would target. So they go after a specific, just like Island, how she was drinking a little tipsy, talking about being divorced, and they knew she was there without protection inside of the club, and maybe they noticed she didn't have on underwear, or noticed that she was a little, I can't think of the word. Maybe they thought maybe she was trashy or whatever they thought about her. I don't know. Those are not my words. And was like, okay, this will make a good assailant, because I can victimize this person and this person would not be believed. So it's like people know how to choose their victims. They don't choose just anybody. They choose people who have tattered esteem, people who don't have good relationship with their parents, people who have a bad relationship with the law. And so in these instances, listen, I just want to say for the record, it is not your fault. The adult is the person who knows better. The adult is the person who knows better. The person who's twice your age, the older teenager, is the one who knows better. You were not imagining it. It was not your fault. It wasn't a mistake, or maybe they didn't know. Maybe you just looked too good in your little toddler clothes, or your little teenage short shorts, or without having underwear. Or it is not your fault. It is not your fault. Listen to what I'm saying. The only person responsible for a rape is the rapist. And if a person cannot consent then the person, it's not sex. It's not sex. Oh, he had sex with her on the dance floor. Oh, no, it's rape. A person who cannot consent is not able to have sex. The only thing they're able to do is be the victim of a rape if they cannot consent. So no, stop looking for excuses to excuse a person's criminal behavior. They know exactly what they're doing. According to sources, this person, Dominique the Creep, this was not his first time assaulting someone. So much so that he chose to be emblazoned with it and do it right there among people. There's a part of me that feels like he wanted to get caught. He was like, you know what? Let's see how far I can push the ticket. Let's see how far I can take this. I'm going to do this in plain sight now. So here we have this young lady going to her mother, telling her mother that she needs help. And the mother cursing her, talking about this man is a good man, etc., etc. Look, in instances like this, you just have to separate yourself. You have to find a way to take care of yourself. When we're young, there's a part of us that feels like, oh, if I hurt myself enough, my mother will be sorry. If I get hurt enough, my father will regret not being there for me or whatever. Forget about making people feel sorry through your own abuse. Self-abusing. Go get yourself safe. Realize that this life is yours. This is your life. And you've got to take care of yourself. If you realize that there's something that is not right at home and there are not adults around who are willing to help you in that home, you've got to be your own parent. And you know what? One of the MP3s that I'm going to do is going to be for some inner child work so that many of us can go back in there and heal the inner child. You know what? When you join my mailing list by downloading that free MP3, you'll get alerted to when the inner child MP3 is available. Because there's so many of us that need to go back to our younger selves and let our younger selves know that it is okay. It was not their fault. Because, you know, something happens when you become the adult. Something happens when you grow up and your mind develops into an adult's mind, and you realize just how wrong that adult was. You realize just how precious a child's innocence is. A child is not supposed to be mentally equipped to be able to outsmart a person twice their age, 3 times their age, an adult, and a child. Stop thinking of ways that you could have outsmarted the adult. It's not possible. Especially, listen, there are adults that can't outsmart other adults. I remember when I was victim to this scam in Argentina where these people threw this funky sauce on me, and this old lady, sweet old lady, was a part of the scam and trying to get me to take my backpack off so that a then strong man could come around the corner and take my backpack. Thank goodness I'm from the Bronx and I didn't let these people get near my stuff. Even as nice and old as she was, I was like, get off of me, leave me alone. I don't like people touching me anyway, especially strangers. I just didn't want it, right? And so people were like, oh, Tonya, you're so dumb. I can't believe you fell with this, that, and the other. Let me tell you, these people who are career criminals, who have made it their life's work to scam people, to harm people, to abuse others, they have tried and they have erred, and their mind works in such a way that you, as a normal, average citizen and human being, your mind cannot go through the same canals that their mind does. Stop trying to outsmart them. It's not possible. The only thing that you can do is become the best at loving yourself. Because these people are going to come up with more and more ways to groom, to victimize, to assault, to rob. So it's not up to you to have an adult's mind. It's not up to you to have a criminal mind. Maintain your innocence. Be happy that there was at some point in time that you did have a child's mind. You were not meant to outsmart adults. And the adult knows that. The adult is the one who is at fault. You are not meant to be able to know all of the tricks and schemes of criminals. It is the criminal's fault for victimizing you. Just take, if in the case of criminals, take your lumps, learn, and move on from there. In the case of assault, realize that it's not your fault. You have nothing to be ashamed of. That person, the assailant, should be ashamed. Get authorities involved. And you know what? I'm reminded right now of Maya Angelou and how she got the name Maya, because she was assaulted. She was raped by a man when she was a child. And she told the adults. The man went to jail and he ended up getting out of jail. And when he got out of jail, there was some street justice that was handed down on his behind, and the man turned up dead. And when Maya found out, when the young girl who would later be called Maya by her brother used to be like, "That's Maya's sister, that's Maya's sister," and so she got the name Maya, but her first name was not Maya. But she stopped speaking for years as a child because she felt like her voice, that when she did speak up, people died. And you know what? There's a certain amount of guilt that victims have. This is what I'm saying. You don't have the mind of a criminal. Some of these people are sociopaths, some of them are psychopaths, and their minds don't work the way ours do. So that we're the ones with guilt. Oh, I don't want to mess up his job. Oh, I don't want him to get kicked out of school. Oh, I don't want him to go to jail. So we internalize this abuse and we just allow ourselves to be abused, us feeling the shame. So Maya Angelou felt like her voice, that her speaking got this person killed. And so she decided that she would not talk anymore. And it was years before she uttered another word. And I can't remember. It's in the book, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. And when it goes into the part of when she decided to speak again, I don't remember what was the impetus for that. But my whole point of this is, no. It's not your voice that gets the person arrested. It's not you speaking up that gets this person in jail. They are responsible for the actions that got them incarcerated. They are responsible for the actions that got them the repercussions thereof. They are responsible for that. You are responsible for just taking care of you. That's it. And whatever happens to them, they brought that on themselves by being an assailant, by reaching outside to, instead of help another person, harm them. And so on that note, I'm going to get out of here. I want to hear your thoughts below about this video. It's so startling. I know that this does happen because I hear people say that it does happen. There's a part of me that is just, my mind can't compute. My mind it can't compute a person who was put into this life who brought you into this world to protect you and care for you. My mind can't compute that this same human being would know that you're being hurt and not help you. I can't imagine how much that person hates themselves, that they would allow their own child to be hurt, and the vicious cycle continues. And the sad part is that there were so many people in my comments who they themselves were victims of rape. And rather than speaking up their voice to assist Jasmine Island, they spoke up their voice to condemn her. One girl said it outright. She said, "Well, no one believed me, so." And the thing is, she was operating an autopilot that after Dominique the Creep was arrested, she snapped out of it and she was like, "Oh my God, what have I done? Who have I become? People didn't believe me when I was raped, but look at what I did." I turned right around and did that to another woman when I know how it felt for it to happen to me. And so this is part of the reason that I decided to go into hypnotherapy, clinical hypnotherapy at that. This is part of the reason because I know that the conscious mind can only assist us but so far in creating lasting change. Because that subconscious mind, those things get in our subconscious mind. And then it just plays out this automatic script where we are puppets to the puppeteer, acting out and not even realizing why. So that a person, and who knows what this mother's relationship was with sexual assault herself. Who knows if she had been sexually assaulted, so that she internalized and blamed herself, so that when it came back around and it was happening to her daughter, in the same way that she blamed herself, she blamed her daughter. Or in the same way that no one believed her, she decided to not believe her daughter. When I told my mother about my childhood sexual assault, my mother felt horrible that this had happened and she did not know. She blamed herself. I was blaming myself. My mother blamed herself. Meanwhile, the only person truly at fault is the assailant. So it's like so many of us go around absorbing the guilt and the shame, while the psychopath skips along scot-free. And it's high time that we stop blaming ourselves, because the rise of the feminine is coming. The rise of the feminine is upon us. And the way that things were before are going to change. The days of old are gone. We are going to have these conversations. We are going to have these conversations, and a reckoning is coming. We are going to change the ways that we thought about things before. And these videos do help. These videos do matter. Share the video. Have the conversation. Share the video with somebody and have a conversation with them after you share it. Get their thoughts. Get them to comment in the comment section. Go to my website. Get your free Relax MP3. It's a powerful MP3. And for those of you who have downloaded, please leave a review on the page of how the MP3 has had an impact on you. I am here to help us learn to love ourselves and each other. That is my mission statement, and I don't take it lightly. When all is said and done, your interaction on my channel and with my content, you will love yourself more and each other more. So listen, there are many ways that you can support me. Subscribe to my channel here, turn on the bell notification, comment, thumbs up, and like the video. These things matter to the YouTube algorithm. Join my personal mailing list by downloading my free MP3, my gift to you. That matters to me, so that I can stay in touch with you in case anything ever happens to me here on YouTube. Because we're talking about sensitive subjects that YouTube doesn't like. And we're talking about sensitive subjects that some people don't like. So anything can happen at any time on any of these platforms that we don't own. I don't own YouTube. I don't own Facebook, but I do own my mailing list. So make sure that you're on my mailing list and get your, if you don't want the MP3, you don't have to download it, but still join the mailing list. Okay. And on that note, I will see you all in the next video. We're going to be talking about Nick Cannon and some comments that he made about black men and white women. I have not heard the video yet, but I will watch it with you all. This week, we're talking about B. Smith. We're also going to be talking about Terry Crews. And hopefully this week, we can get in some carbonation talk about polygamy and how those girls are being treated over there. So this week is chock full of all types of helpful videos, and you can always search through the titles and stay up that way. All right, so listen, I'm out of here. Tonya TKO, and I'm out. Go out there and love one another, but most importantly, what? Love yourself. And part of loving yourself is coming to terms with the fact that this is your body, this is your person. You may think that you're a child, you may think that you're young, but your soul is as old as mine is. The soul is everlasting. And so this is the body that houses your soul. But please understand that your soul is just as old as your mother's, just as old as your father's. And there comes a time where you're going to have to realize this is your person, this is your body, and you've got to take care of yourself. Because when all is said and done and you're sitting in that room all alone, with 1 hour left to live in your life, and you start thinking about, when you start thinking about the activities of your life, what you exchanged your days for, that's your life, yours. Your mother's not going to be, well, hopefully your parents will go before you do. But even still, they're not going to be traversing through the journey, transitioning out of this life when you do and how you do. This is your life, so take control of it. It doesn't matter when you didn't take control before. Let's go grab a hold and take control.